It's a family reunion. Monique and her son, who was just blasting her last year on social media, have reunited. And now he's taking to social media to apologize publicly to his mother. And sadly, Brian McKnight's son, Nico McKnight, passes away after a 2-year battle with cancer.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Guys, don't forget the Kempire After Dark, the villain era, is coming to Philadelphia on July 10th, Atlanta on August 5th, Washington, D.C. on August 22nd. After that, we'll be back here in New York City on September 12th. More information on our night of hot topics, comedy, and more will be available in the description. Get your tickets today for meet and greets and a live stream option exclusively for the New York City show. So let's start off with Nico McKnight. This is a story that we've been following for a few years now when it comes to Brian McKnight and him being estranged, particularly by his own choice, estranged from his children. And it was one of the last reports that we did was the fact that Nico had been battling cancer. And I believe it was Monique Slaughter who went out on social media and said, "Why are you doing this, Brian?" Because he had said something on social media. I can't remember because there's been so much back and forth over the years when it comes to Brian McKnight disowning his children publicly and even naming his new son, Brian McKnight Jr., even though there is already a Brian McKnight Jr. and a third. She pointed out, like, why are you doing this? Literally, Nico is battling cancer. And that's when the public found out that one of his children, Nico, was battling cancer. According to reports, he was battling colon cancer. It was confirmed by Nico's uncle, Claude McKnight, that he had passed away just the other day. Our friends over at The Griot write this. They said that Nico McKnight, a singer and guitarist who also happens to be the estranged son of R&B star Brian McKnight, has reportedly died after a battle with cancer. The news was confirmed by the brother of Brian, Claude McKnight, in a video posted to TikTok on May 29th. The date Nico passed away has not been confirmed as of yet, nor his age at the time. According to sources, he was 32 years old. As you may recall, Nico and his siblings made headlines some years ago as personal matters turned public when it was revealed that Brian had an estranged relationship with several of his children. As recently as 2024, he had referred to his 4 oldest children, Brian Jr., Nico, Brianna, and Clyde, as, quote, products of sin, saying that in order to live a life that you love, you have to get rid of evil and the negativity, even if that evil and negativity is related to you. Claude didn't address the family drama in his video. Let's take a look at what Claude had to say, because I felt like it was actually a really beautiful tribute to Nico's life, but he talks a little bit about the drama within the family.
So all day, I said to myself I wasn't going to post about this. And as the day wore on, I realized that how could I not post about this? This morning, I found out that my nephew, Nico McKnight, passed away. He'd been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so. And I have a lot of feelings right now. I'm not going off a script or anything like that. I'm just going to be raw with how I'm feeling. Nico was one of those amazing kids who was quirky and curious and ridiculously talented. Amazing singer, an amazing guitar player, had a great eye, was a photographer. And just one of those kids that, at least in my estimation, was somebody you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he's no longer with us. And I will also say, probably one of the reasons why I wasn't going to post about it is I post a lot of things, but I don't post a lot of really, really serious subject things, or certainly family things. And I wanted to post this about Nico, about his legacy, about how amazing he is, and not about what some of you may have heard about, the family drama that has existed for quite some time in our family. I'm not here to discuss that or to talk about how that happened or why it happened. This is not the time or the place, but what I will say is In any situation, there's always at least three sides to a story. There's my side, your side, and the truth. And the truth a lot of times is somewhere in between. So here's the thing. I don't know exactly what was going on there. I know what I've seen. I know what I've heard from all parties involved. And I try not to judge. I just try to be as loving to each person as I can be, because apparently there's so much hurt going on, or was so much hurt going on, that a lot of things didn't get resolved. And again, I want to go back to Nico. I know that kid had a lot inside, a lot eating at him for a long, long, long time. That may have contributed to what happened with him. What I do know is he's out of pain now. And so I can rejoice in the fact that he no longer has to go through the chemo and the radiation and everything else. But I just want to uplift that young man and say we will see him again one day. I love you, Nico. Uncle Claude.
Wow. I thought that was a beautiful message, especially with all of what was going on within Brian McKnight's family. It's good to know that there were people still around Nico supporting him. There were more things. Because we've covered this story and the estrangement within this family, I've discovered that there were some posts that Nico made in regards to his relationship with his father as he was battling cancer. So this is what Nico said in a few different tweets. He says, "When I was about to die in the hospital from complications from my cancer, I just wanted to bury the hatchet and hear him say he loves me. And he told me he couldn't arbitrarily tell me he loves me. Still cuts so deep." He posted that in April of last year. Nico also said in April of last year, "Sometimes I wonder if my dad's karma is my close proximity to death. Like maybe if I end up dying, it will release him from this grip of evil." Then in September of last year, Nico posted this tweet saying, "If I could just have one more group hug between me, my brother, my mom, and my dad, I'd truly be ready." And in another tweet in October of last year, Nico says, "Every day I feel so embarrassed by how things went with our dad. When you're faced with a situation like mine, it quickly shows you what really matters. And family matters the most. I miss my family so much. Everyone." So when we look at the whole Brian McKnight and the estrangement from his kids, as someone that was facing death and now has passed on, I don't believe there was any ill intention behind what he was posting. I think he truly was like, I'm going through probably the worst time in my life, and now I'm realizing what matters. And even with all of that was going on, Brian McKnight and his son remain estranged. Rest in peace to Nico. Nico was only 32 years old. According to reports, he was battling colon cancer. But in some good news, a family is reunited. As you know, Monique and her son, Shalon, had a very public back and forth. I think it was just last year. I can't remember. Like, time is just, especially with these hot topics. According to our friends over at Essence magazine, they said comedian Monique and her eldest son, Shalon Jackson, have put their differences aside and reconciled after their public fallout in 2024. The Parker's actress shared an image of them hugging and laughing in a recent Instagram post where she says, "Grateful," in caps, "I love us for real," the 57-year-old in her caption. And it was a beautiful moment. I didn't care about anything that happened last year or what was said, and because there was a lot said and there a lot could be said. But this is a mother and her son. Whatever issues that they have, that's between them. If they decide to resolve those issues and move forward, I think we should all celebrate that. But it didn't stop there, because Shalon took to social media to address their beef, and he's making a public apology to his mother, Monique.
I want to start this off by showing my gratitude towards my family. The amount of patience and grace that they have all shown me, especially during times where I did not deserve it, is appreciated more than I can ever express in words. Making those videos a year ago was a betrayal against our family, and I have to take full accountability for it. Why I made the videos and how I was feeling at the time when I made them is irrelevant. I made them, and I shouldn't have, period. My family did not deserve the backlash that they received from what I said. Having a life's resume with your family as the one in the family who simply just can't get right, and then finally doing what you're supposed to be doing, didn't give me the right to feel self-righteous when I felt like they didn't notice. My mother and Sydney were very justified to address my mental health condition at the time. I just simply didn't like it. Taking accountability can be hard if I allow it to be. Bottom line, I was wrong, and I shouldn't have said any of what I said. I should have just kept my mouth shut and called my mother. Having that family discussion was hard, and it felt like I spiritually got jumped, but at the end of the ass whooping, my family did pick me up and give me a hug. The love my mother has for her family and the way that she loves life is a testament to her husband. It's a very humbling experience when your little brothers have a valid reason to want to punch their older brother in the face. But it was my brothers who had the idea for us to have their conversation in person, which would prevent me from running from it. And even after they heard all the shit I put our mother through, they still gave me a hug, told me they love me, and then we laughed for the rest of the weekend. Who they are as men and who they are becoming as men is also a testament to the caliber of man Sydney is and has always been since I've known him. My mother wakes up every day with a smile on her face and nothing but joy to give, and I take full accountability once again for taking that relationship away from my children. Now, watching her take pride in making my son's baby food from scratch, to baking chickpea chocolate chip cookies with my daughter, to being with me the first time my son went underwater in the pool, makes me so happy to have been so wrong before. Life does have a way of showing up for you, even when you don't want it to. Making the decision to go no contact with my family hurt me more than I could have ever imagined, which in turn trickled down to me not being the best man, father, and future husband that I could be for my family. For those that use my words as a way to further a narrative that my mother is difficult to work with, that her husband is controlling, or that she is anything like the character that she portrayed in Precious, I also apologize to my mother for the things that you said about her. If it wasn't for me running my mouth, y'all wouldn't have ran yours. For those that left comments telling me that at the time I should not have been saying what I was saying, I appreciate you for holding me accountable. Whew. I owe it to my family to make this apology public, due to the fact that I made our family business public. Though the road to family redemption is hard, I'm looking forward to it. For those that showed me support at the time, but also put up prayers for us to work it out, thank you. Now, these are some receipts that I'm very happy to share. Thank you for listening.
First of all, let me just clarify something because some people might be confused. Why does he look like he's reading a statement? If you follow the story from last year, he says he writes his words down and reads from a piece of paper because it's easier for him to be clear. And that's his way of communicating. Before we get into the jokes of, oh, she made him issue this apology. Who knows? But if he wants to make a public statement, he is a grown man making a public statement. And when we look at the reason why I paired these two stories together, literally they both happened this week. When you look at what Nico said at the last few months of his life in regards to his family, realizing what is important to him and what he really wanted, you look at the story with Monique and her son and his children and how they were able to come together and make peace. It doesn't always happen that way. I'm a big advocate. Just because someone's blood or family doesn't mean that you should allow toxicity in your life. But it also doesn't mean that if there is a way, if there is a path forward possible, why not try? That is what it seems like Shalon, Monique have done. Will Brian McKnight do that with his other children that are still here with us? Well, that's up to him. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on these two stories, and maybe you have your own story to share. Let's share them in the comments. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.